Stevie, you out here wilding, homie. This is crazy because I don't really follow football anymore, but I used to follow football back when he was a wide receiver and he was really good at what he does. And apparently he's really good at other things too, because he has been caught sleeping with a married woman and the husband somehow found out and exposed all of it online, but it's really weird, so I kind of want to break it down with you guys. So when I woke up and saw it was trending, one of the first tweets that I came across was this one, where he tags a whole lot of people. And I'm not sure why he tags Antonio Bryant. I don't know if him and Steve Smith have issues, and so he's hoping that he'll carry this even further for him. But he obviously tagged ESPN, TMZ, Panthers, so on and so forth, and says, "My wife works for the Marching Ravens. She met Steve Smith Sr. at work. Steve Smith has been effing my wife. I got receipts. I got a lot more, homie." He also somehow took over her Facebook and posted to her Facebook as if he was her and says, "Hi, I am Nicole Martinez, though I won't be a Martinez much longer. You see, I have been cheating on my husband, and I've been doing so with the very famous Steve Smith Sr. Pics attached for reference. I had him hit it under 3, but that's been fixed. My husband bought me a house. He stood by my side after I had been arrested twice for domestic, and this is how I repay him and our son. There's plenty of messages here, Steve. Crazy the kind of revealing messages a celebrity will send. Baltimore Ravens, I'm also a member of your team band. I believe I violated some fraternization rules by hooking up with Steve at the training facility." Now, if I'm being honest with you, I'm back and forth on whether or not he should have handled it this way. Like, I understand him being upset and he wants to expose it and he figures, you know what, if I put this out there, maybe he'll lose his job. People will drag him on the internet. Like, he wants some kind of revenge for what's going on. And otherwise, he's not really going to get that. So I understand it from that aspect, but I also feel like you just blowing up to the internet that your wife is getting dicked down by Steve Smith. And if I'm being honest with you, a lot of the tweets don't seem to care. They're all like person and player. I see them differently. I still rock with Steve Smith. And the reason why people are saying that most likely is because he didn't kill somebody. He ain't touch a kid or anything like that. He just slept with a woman. Now, it is messed up because apparently he has a wife and a family and kids and all that stuff. And obviously this guy, it was his wife and they've got a kid together. In that sense, it is messed up, but I also feel like maybe you could have handled it without blasting it everywhere. And you could have still tried to reach out to the Ravens and all these different places and present the information without letting the entire world know that Steve Smith was deep inside your wife. And when I say that, I am not joking. So these are some of the text messages that he pulled from her phone. So she is the green text messages, Steve is the gray ones on the left, and she says, "Yes, sir," with a kissing smiley emoji. He says, "Take me deep down your throat like you kinda of like you wanted to suck me off." Now, I don't know if he was in the middle of gooning right there, and that's why he got a little messed up with his words, but she says, "I did. I would have gagged on it, but I had to come home." He says, "You enjoy it. You like to feel it." And she says, "I like feeling it deep in my wet box." And he says, "Me too. Letting you taste it, though, would be a turn on. I would have shot my nut all inside your box." And she says, "I love making you come. I enjoy it more when you come inside me." And he says, "Noted. You get to feel it. And I promise you it only gets more diabolical from here." So he sent her a text message where he said it's 20 degrees, then sent a picture, which I promise you is going to become a regular meme on the internet. This is a picture I will personally be using myself. And then he says, "Turn you over and get deep inside you." To which she says, "You're so hot." Deep is an understatement. It felt like you were going to rearrange my IUD. You were so deep. Bro, this is not shit that you share to the internet. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. If this was happening to me, I would not want the internet to know that my man Steve Smith is so deep inside my wife. She felt like he was going to rearrange her IUD. This is something you don't share. You could have just shared the fact that you had the phone call with him and stuff and left all this stuff out of it, because now this is all everybody's going to talk about. That's one of the wildest things ever. And in all reality, although he's kind of got his own home life messed up now, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of struggle and all, like, let's just say he splits from his wife, or he doesn't, but he still wants to go out and get himself some box. You just helped him get that much more, because all the girls that are reading this are like, "Oh shit, okay, I might have to check in with Steve sometime." You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy work. But before we go any further, let's listen to the phone call.
Hey, yo, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you been my wife, bro. What you gotta say for yourself?
I'm sorry.
You're sorry? You fucking knew she was married. You're not a idiot, man. You're Steve Smith Sr. What kind of dumb shit was that? Why are you quiet, man? Be a fucking man. Steve. You ain't a fucking man, bro. All that shit you do on fucking TV, all that shit talking you do to other people. Now someone's got you on the phone, you can't even fucking man up.
So obviously it was pretty uneventful. I don't know if they had more of a conversation before he decided to start recording, but again, if he's in a state where both parties have to know about the recording, this shit could get him in trouble. Now, maybe Steve doesn't try to press charges because all the shit that's going to be going on at home and the drama with his own wife, she might be like, hey, listen, you're not going to try to sue that man or bring him to court or anything like that because you're the one that messed up. So he might be in the clear because of that, but I don't really know. It's something you got to be careful about. Now, this man also tweeted some other stuff that I thought was extremely wild. And this is the only one that I was able to grab because I couldn't find his Twitter. I don't know if I was typing it wrong over and over or if he deleted it, but it says, holy shit, that's Steve Smith Sr. 89 dicking down my wife. And again, I get that this is a traumatic experience for you, but this man started bugging. He's tweeting out wild shit. He's sharing messages about getting her IUD rearranged. And I just feel like this is not the path to take. Regardless, I'm gonna give a little shout out to Steve. Again, I know it's messed up. Some people might be mad that I say that, but this guy's wife looks kind of bad, bro. Like, and I'm hearing she might be like 40 or something. Hey, she holding up really well. I got a lot of love for her. And if I was Steve, I probably would have dove in the same. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. She kind of got that I'm nerdy, but really bad at the same time look. And I like that. I just feel like it's not something you come across all the time. So I kind of get where he was coming from. But it also makes you wonder, is he doing this shit with other dudes' wives? Is more shit going to come out? There might be some other guys out there right now who felt like something weird is going on with their wife. They know that she also works there and they start snooping around on the phones and shit. There might be some wives out there that are mad nervous, like, yo, I'm about to get exposed, or just angry because they're like, I'm not the only one. Like, there might be some things that come out, and if they do, we'll definitely talk about it because this shit was funny to me to wake up and read all these text messages and the way people were responding to it. Although I will say I feel bad for the guy, obviously. You should not try to break up a marriage. And in all reality, not just because it's messed up and not the right thing to do, especially if you're married, but also is dangerous. And I've said this before in an old video, but I have someone that I was friends with that years ago actually was murdered because he was dating a woman who, yes, she was married, but they were going through a divorce. And so they had been split apart. It was known that they were going to go out and start to date other people, but the guy didn't handle it very well and didn't accept that. And so he followed her out to dinner with my friend. And when they went back to the apartment or house or whatever it was that she had, I think it was the one that he had with her, but no longer lived in. So he knew how to get inside and he waited until they went to sleep and he went in and he killed both of them. So now the girl and him, they had a kid together. The kid now has no parents because he's in jail probably for life, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It's already all played out. And now she's gone. And then my friend also loses his life. And it's like, all for what? Just because you couldn't move on from somebody that you had a relationship with? Like, it's really weird, but there are people out there like that. And so you've got to be careful when you move like this. Now, Steve is probably in a much safer situation given that he's rich. He doesn't have to go to her house. She can come to him and so on and so forth. And it's not the same, but it's still something you want to be careful with because this guy could have easily never put any of this online, went and grabbed himself a gun and waited until he came across Steve somewhere and took his life. So it's not something to be played with. So from that aspect, I feel like you got to be very, very careful. But curious what you guys think. I just saw this and wanted to talk about it. I will catch you in the next one, homies.